Well, when you went back to WWF, you were, I would
A jobber.
say, more of an undercard guy, yeah.
Jobber, then.
How did that affect the finances?
I had no place to go. See, sometimes when you put yourself in a predicament, just like if you got a convertible car and you drive it and the weatherman says it's going to rain that day, and you decide to take the convertible, well, you're out driving, but then the rain start coming, you go to let the top up, the top won't come up. So you got to drive home in the rain. Now that's what I did.
Well, Tony,
I went out in the convertible, it started raining, and I had to drive back in the rain. I got wet the whole time.
well, that's a good way to put it. Did you resent when you came back after the success you had, the physique you had, the charisma you had, the success you had all over the country? Did you resent some guys maybe that didn't have as much talent as you, working higher up the card?
No, never. Because if a person is high on the card, he deserved that honor. He did that. I didn't do that. And because my absence didn't have nothing to do with him being there. He would have been there anyway.
Right.
The fact was, I was more angry at myself for a long time.
You know what?
For putting myself in a position where they could do that to me. Because one of the things that I learned from Hogan always kept himself in a position where people couldn't mess over him. The old time always said, look after yourself, kid. If you save your money, it's very hard for a promoter to mistreat you. If you squander your money, it's easy for a promoter to take advantage of you.
Own you.
If you keep good contacts outside of the business, it's hard for a promoter to do things because you can go do other things. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hogan, when they didn't treat Hogan right, Hogan was able to go to WCW. He was able to do reality shows. He was able to go do movies. He was able to go do commercials. So he was not totally relying on wrestling. And a lot of wrestlers put themselves in a position. Dwayne Johnson, do you think if he had stayed in wrestling, he'd be where he's at now? No, he would not.
He was making a very, very healthy income in WWE. I know he had a couple of 8-figure years, which was great.
He would have not been what he is now if he had stayed.
Well, I have a lot of strong thoughts on that, but we're trying to talk about a different era. I think he kind of stuck it to WWE.
No, wrestling didn't change.
No, it didn't change.
No, it's the same that every wrestler that have something else since the 70s, that has something else going for themselves other than. Bruiser Brody could call his own shot because Bruiser Brody had Japan.
Right. Big money in
the
Japan.
Butcher could call his own shot because he had Japan. Every wrestler has something else other than the WWE. The promoter was not able to mess with them because they could always go somewhere else.
Right.
And Hogan learned from them wrestlers. I'm always was very trusting.
You're a good guy.
I was a stupid guy. I'm still stupid. I trust what people say.
Yep.
I trust what people say.
And it's burned
then
you.
At the end of the day, I found out that I was stupid. See, people would tell you anything if you're gullible.
Yep.
And I was gullible. I believed Vince when he said everything gonna be good. I believed Vince when he said you make more money with me than you will with Vern. I believed him. Hogan didn't.
Did you make more money in the AWA than you did with WWF
Yes.
when you came back? Really?
No, I made more money with Vern than I did with Vince.
The money was good with AWA?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you work less too.
Yeah, AWA didn't have an every night schedule,
You did
right?
less work too.
They were only, what, maybe 14 shots a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a great schedule from what I've been told. Did he?
It was all big buildings. He paid real big. He did Vegas. He did Milwaukee. He did Chicago. He had some, Minneapolis and St. Paul were big buildings.
He wouldn't do the high school and social club type shows like WWF.
No small show. Everything was serious. Yeah, it was big. Yeah.
All right, as 1984 came to a close.
That's why Vince took such good care of Hogan when he first came in, because Hogan always go back to Vern.
Or Japan. He had a great run in New Japan.
Deal with Japan.
Yeah.
All the guys that had a good Japan deal, Vince never messed with.
He didn't screw with them.
Well, you can't. As long as you got something else, can't nobody screw with you.
Why didn't you have any alternative?
I was just an old country boy from the hills of Virginia, and I didn't know. I didn't know them things then. I know now, but I didn't know it then.
right, so let me ask you this. How big of a drop-off did you find from when you were making significant money when you were half of the tag team champions to coming back as a singles undercard guy?
The money was totally different.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, I still trust what Vince said. I trust what he said. Wasn't true, but I trust him anyway, you know?
All right, as 84 came to a close, like I was going to say, the build-up to the initial WrestleMania began.
The World Wrestling Federation was live at the Denver Auditorium in Denver, Colorado, Sunday, May the 22nd, 1988. In the opening contest, Barry Horowitz beat Scott Casey. Jim the Anvil Neidhart victorious over Hillbilly Jim. George the Animal Steele defeated Mr. Fuji via countout. The Ultimate Warrior with the win over Hercules. WWF Women's Champion Sensational Sherry retained the title over Rockin' Robin. The One-Man Gang beat Bam Bam Bigelow. Strikeforce victorious over WWF Tag Team Champions Demolition via disqualification. And in the main event, WWF World Heavyweight Champion Macho Man Randy Savage retained the title over the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase. If you were in Denver live, share your memories in the comments section below. Use the links in the description box to help keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll Journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.